The world and Olympic champion Lin Dan of China against the world #1. You couldn't ask for better. What a lineup. Great rivals, great respect for each other. Last two Super Series events, the Yonex All England Championships and the Swiss Open, these two players met each other in the final of both of those competitions, and honours were shared. But of course, I guess the match that so many people remember, and rightly so, was the Olympic final in Beijing. This man, the left-hander, Lin Dan, was awesome. 21-12, 21-8, he won that Olympic final. And he probably played some of the best badminton that I have ever witnessed. Lin Dan against Chong. And for all the Malaysian fans, we're looking at the lineup for this semi-final of the Sudirman Cup. Whilst China, without doubt, overwhelming favourites, this man had to be their banker, because unless Chong wins this men's singles, in all honesty, I don't think Malaysia can come back and win the semi-final. Lin Dan, 25 years of age, born in Fujian here in China. Chong, 26, born in Penang. In fact, he's a datuk. Now given the honour of a datukship after his silver medal in the Olympic Games. Given that by the governor of Penang. Commonwealth Games gold medalist from 2006. Won the Asian Badminton Championships that year as well. Won 2 titles already in 2009 as Chong. Mentioned the Swiss Open, where he beat Lin Dan, and he won the Malaysian Open for the 5th time. Hugo Kassel of Switzerland. And I think the fact that Chong won his home country international events 5 times is an indication of just how much of an advantage it is to play on home soil. That being the case, well, perhaps Lin Dan even more of a favourite for this then.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Malaysia, represented by Chong.
Overwhelming support for Lin Dan. He is a megastar here in China. Rashid Sadek, All England finalist, of course, himself, has been coaching the development squad, now helping with the elite squad. Xie Jinfeng, former world champion and world #1 in the women's singles. Well, the Malaysian knows that unless he plays a perfect net shot, it's going to be pounced on by Lin Dan. And Charmaine, we talk a lot about home advantage and how nice it is to play on home territory. So, of course, that makes and favours Lin Dan, makes him favourite for this. But I can remember as he's just complaining to the umpire about a flashlight, somebody's camera behind the court. I can remember thinking and predicting what a favourite he was in the Thomas Cup final in Jakarta last year. And, of course, when these two players met, it was Lee Chong-wei that won in 2 straight games. So you never know. I mean, both of these players quite clearly outstanding players in world terms.
Absolutely. I mean, it's either of these guys could totally win the game. These two are fly around the court, incredibly powerful, strong, flexibility, speed. These two are by far the best two in the world. And if you compare athletes in any sport, I would say they would rank with the best athletes in the world, all-around athletes.
Wouldn't disagree with that at all.
各位观众，为了避免影响运动员的比赛，请您在观看比赛拍照时不要使用闪光灯，或请将闪光灯置于关闭状态。
Found the line. Bao Chunlai, beaten in the World Championship final in Madrid against the player on court, Lin Dan. Now, whilst these two are both great athletes, they're both great badminton players. Technically or tactically, what is the difference between the two?
I think Lin Dan has a bit more power in his smash. Lee Chong-wei always diving, returning on the defense, and then when he gets the opportunity to, he's very quick. But I'll tell you right now, I think Lin Dan has more power in his smash.
Oh, that is brilliant. So smooth with his court coverage as Lee Chong-wei. It's almost like a cat about to pounce on its prey. He moves so low, glides around the court. Great rally.
They're both being very patient, then going for the cross-court, clip down, smash, and back into it again. I think they both realize it could be a long game.
Between them, these two players have occupied the world #1 spot since March 2004. They are quite clearly the best two players in the world. Oh, right into the corner. He's a great showman as well as a great badminton player. Lin Dan, great character.
Definitely both of these guys bringing excitement to the game.
I'm exhausted just watching it.
Can't get much better than that.
It's not just reaching the shuttle. These players are such good athletes. They get up and recover so quickly. Lin Dan only played 2 individual tournaments this year. 2009, the All England and the Swiss Open. As I was mentioning earlier, winning the All England, of course, for a 4th time. Beaten in the final by this man of the Swiss Open. Because the entire Chinese team put into an intensive training camp December last year. In the first 2 months of this year. Good aggression. Lee Chong-wei, on the other hand, a great supporter of tournaments around the world. Super Series events, as well as Grand Prix events. Six all. Good recovery. He was not 5 down, remember. Chen Jin, world number 4, Olympic bronze medalist in the men's singles. He's looking quite anxious there.
A lot of the times for the players, sometimes it's harder to watch your teammate be on the court, and you're there with great support, but like to be out there as well.
Oh. Well, I suppose you could argue that the cross-court clear was a little too flat, but quite frankly, look at how he arches his back. It's just a leap from the base position. No, just wide. Back into the lead. What was that, a little moss or something? Anyway, readying again. Oh, that's a great shot. Earlier on in this Sudirman Cup competition about the need in singles to outmaneuver your opponent before going for a winner. And quite frankly, I'm watching these two players and I think, how do you outmaneuver them? Their court coverage is so good. How do you pull them out of position?
Yeah, and they make it look so easy. If they're playing anybody else, all of these shots are almost winners all the time. They're so good at moving. It's tough. You just have to be really patient until you get the total opportunity. And even then, they get it back and you just keep battling until you win the point.
Oh! no. How did that creep over? This is perfection.
Can't do anything with that.
And then
Perfect
lands
shot.
on the line. What can you do? Well, just apologises for the good fortune. I can tell you that these players do actually practice to be able to hit those net cords.
Oh,
Just wide.
just wide.
Well, odd start as far as the scoring pattern is concerned to this opening game. Lin Dan racing to a 5-love lead. Then 7 of 8 next points going in favour of the Malaysian. For Lin Dan, winning 5 straight points to get to the mid-game interval. Now, I was just mentioning that I know for a fact that the top players in the world practice to be able to hit the net cords on their net shots. And the reason I know that is because I was lucky enough to go and train with the Chinese national squad many years ago when I was a much, much younger person. And I was amazed at the practice sessions how we all had to practice hitting those net cords. It was absolutely extraordinary. I learned so much from that experience and the quality and the intensity of the practice, and that's why a player like Lin Dan is the quality that he is. Yeah, being very careful not to cross the net or touch the net with his racket. Too wide, and this is where the mental discipline comes in, because we've talked about the fact that it's so difficult to outmaneuver your opponent with these two players. They're both so good at covering all corners of the court, and therefore you've got to keep the mental toughness that what should be your winners keep coming back, and therefore you've got to have the mental discipline not to make a mistake. Don't go too close to the lines.
Right, and not attack too quickly when you're off balance. Lee Chung-wei, his strength is cross-court clip downs, fast smashes, and Lin Dan is picking him up. So mentally, it's hard. You just have to know long rallies, and eventually one of them are going to win it.
Oh, my word. Well, net play from Lin Dan is superb. Takes the shuttle so early that you could see quite clearly there how the shuttle was tumbling. The Malaysian having to hit the feathers before the cork, and that's why he couldn't control the shot. And unbelievably, 8 straight points to the Olympic champion. Oh, that's landing in. Well in. The man is human after all. Lee Chung-wei needs a bit of a run here. Both these men played all 3 previous matches in this Sudirman Cup campaign. So China have this huge squad. 27 players. Lin Dan has played the 3 group matches, and so has the Malaysian. So for both of them, their 4th match in this campaign. And up until now, neither of them defeated. Little smile from Lee Chong Wei, because both players were looking up at the giant screen in this arena
for the replay.
He's missed it. No question about that. Fang, silver medalist at the Beijing Olympics. She and Lin Dan, of course, seeing one another off court, trying to repeat history, and the fact that the first ever Olympic champions, Suzy Susanti and Vidi Kusuma from the Barcelona Olympics, ended up getting married, having a family together. And Fang not able to complete the golden double. Well, there you go. You see, that's not luck, that's practice.
That is, yeah. That's... Again, that's one of Lee Chong Wei's strength, and he knows he has to play it so well. Lin Dan's already moving that way. Mentally, it's tough to know your weapon is almost gone.
Specifically from the deep forehand corner across court, or either corner?
He does both, but definitely forehand cross court. And there it is. Oh, there, we got that one.
It's short. Oh, he didn't put it away. Well, he'll be very relieved to have won that rally in the end, because that was a golden opportunity which he squandered.
Maybe being a little bit too patient on that one.
Lin Dan just indicating to the umpire that he needs the court to be mopped of the perspiration. 21 minutes already. This opening game. good patient play, using every inch of the court. Lee Chong-wei. And what's Lee Yongbo saying there? Come on, a bit more attacking play, finish it off. Certainly in a commanding position in this opening game, 5-point advantage. Lin Dan. It's wide. Yeah. Frustrated with himself.
It's a right shot, but aiming too close to the line. Nope. These guys watching Lee Chong-wei train sometimes too. You get four of the Malaysian guys attacking on him, and he does a good job. That's why it's so easy for him one-on-one as well when they get practice like that when moving around the court. That's what you need to see Lin Dan do a little bit more of.
Yes, he has this ability to suddenly inject a bit of pace. Thundering down the smash. And now just 2 points away from the opening game. Look how his shirt is absolutely sodden with perspiration. Amazing. Well, he is a class act, we know that. You don't go winning Olympic titles unless you have supreme ability. Finding the line. And now for the Olympic champion, it is 8 game points. Oh, he's hit it long. Well, he may have made the error, but quite frankly, the fact that he's gone storming forward like that will make the Malaysian think twice about blocking to the net in future. I'm a great believer in the psychological battle of a match and really trying to legitimately intimidate your opponent. Oh. Well, this is fascinating because the Malaysian is saying, I'm not going to be intimidated by you coming forward, I'm going to jump on the next one. It's no wonder these two men have dominated world badminton for so long. Getting a little bit fidgety in his chair there, head coach Lee Yongbo. Surely the Olympic champion couldn't squander 8 game points. Well, certainly 4 have come and gone. Another 4 remain. Can go wide, surely. Yes. And Lin Dan, 5th time of asking, takes the opening game. My goodness. What great badminton, this men's singles, the world #1 against the world and Olympic champion. And it's the Chinese left-hander Lin Dan who's taken the opening game in 27 minutes, 21-16. Well, both players nodding at approval of the instructions given to them by their coaches. Really very surprised that Lin Dan hasn't chosen to change that shirt.
Yeah, you can tell how much he's sweating, how wet that is.
Yeah, and of course the perspiration will drip down from that shirt onto the court surface, and then play will get interrupted while we have to have the court mopped. Now, this is always very fascinating to me. You watch this grip that he puts on. He's just needing something on the bottom of his racket there. He has a very interesting toweling grip. It doesn't go all the way up the handle of the racket. His forefinger is actually resting on the wood of the handle.
Yes, yeah.
He's the only player in world badminton that I've ever seen have a grip like that. And of course I asked the stupid question. I asked him why he did that. He said, well, because I like it like that. Well, serves me right for asking a stupid question. One game to the good, Lin Dan in this men's singles against Chong. Now, if you had been Rashid Sadek talking to Chong, what would you have said to him?
I think, yes, he has to be patient. He knows he has to do the perfect shots, but sometimes when he's off balance, he's going for the wrong shot. Be a little bit safer, and then make sure you're hitting at the right time.
Oh, that's a good shot.
And he knows when Lin Dan's attacking, he's coming straight on a lot of the time because of the power. If he can redirect the return like he just did, will also help.
Oh, yeah. That's lovely. I think the problem for the Malaysian is that against any other player in the world, the Malaysian's court coverage is so good. He's such a good athlete, so fit. He'll never be beaten on fitness. He's the supreme athlete. And I think against any other player, he gradually wears them down. And the problem, I think, against Lin Dan, for me, the Malaysian doesn't take enough initiative. I'd like to see him, instead of reacting to what his opponent is doing precisely that. And saying, right, I'm going to dictate the pace in this next rally. I'm going to make Lin Dan move all over the court rather than just chasing the shuttle and getting everything back, which is Chong's normal style. You see, I love to see that sort of aggressive play. Well, that's unlucky for the Malaysian. And I think in a way he has to do that, because if he sits back and just tries to be more patient, I don't think Lin Dan is going to make enough errors that's going to allow the Malaysian to actually win the match. I think the Malaysian, to me, has to be a little more commanding in the rallies. Not totally, because that's not his style. And you can't suddenly do something that it's not your natural way of doing it. But then, who are we to argue? He is world number one. He can't be doing badly with what he's doing at the moment. Oof, indecision. By the time he decided to play that, it's far too late. Well, we've already had an announcement about flashlight photography. And there's still somebody at the back of the court there. And the flash camera is going off in the middle of the rallies. It's not surprising that these players have both hit or mishit. Oh, that's brilliant.
Fantastic.
Sensational.
Super get, and then he, with the short clear, Lin Dan's going to take advantage.
Yeah, I think that was a prime example of your point about Chong playing the wrong shot at the wrong time. Should never have gone for the cross-court clear. You were right, it was too short, but it was the wrong choice of shot in the first place.
And then opens up the court.
No, he's missed it. It's wide. And immediately, Lin Dan turning and looking to a patch on the court. It's a little bit slippery. And the hand goes down and the perspiration from the palm of the hand left on the court surface.
Both these guys on defense are incredible getting back the shots. I know in '96 Olympic Games in Atlanta, they had a lot of testing with other athletes, and Artie Waranada did one of the testings. And they couldn't believe how fit badminton athletes were. He was one of the top guys at the Olympic Games for all-around athletes, and I'm sure these two would also be the same.
Yes, of course, Artie, an Indonesian badminton player. Well, Rashid Sidek looking about as concerned as he ever gets. He's such a laid-back character. And a 5-point advantage now for Lin Dan, and I have to say things are beginning to look a little bit ominous for all the Malaysian fans. 6-point advantage. From 4-all. Oh, it's just wide by a whisker. No, wide again. Isn't it odd how this opening game and now here in the second game, they've gone in little spells, little runs of points. You don't expect that in men's singles.
No, that happens more, I would say, in mixed doubles, but at first they were having the long rallies and now they're both trying to go for it, and that's when the mistakes are happening.
This is a good rally.
Superb. They're both using all four corners so well. Waiting for the right opportunity.
Yeah, I thought the court would need some attention towards the system. Well, the umpire's not allowing the court mopper on. Very surprised about that. Lin Dan just making his apologies to the umpire. Good judgment. Shuttle lands long at that back line. And the gap is narrowed to just 2 points. Nice to see the two players, certainly up till now, when one asks to change the shuttle, the other obliges. It's become a feature of world badminton nowadays that opponents object to changing the shuttle. It's the side of badminton I have to confess I really don't like to see. Can't see the problem with a new shuttle. Perfect shuttle. Love to play with a perfect shuttle. Amazing. We've talked about these runs in points. 6 straight points to Lin Dan from 4-all to 10-4. Now 5 straight points for the Malaysian. Straight points to Malaysia. I don't think I've ever seen this with the top 2 players in the world. So I must stress that Lin Dan is only ranked number 3 in the world at the moment. Of course, Peter Gader from Denmark is currently the world number 2. But I think it'd be a fair comment to say that most people's opinion, the world and Olympic champion Lin Dan, along with Lee Chong Wei, the 2 outstanding players in world badminton. Oh, look at that net shot! Oh! Pounce on the net in the end, Lin Dan. And he has the narrowest of possible margins at the mid-game interval. Well, he may be disappointed with the final rally, but he's right back in it. A couple of times I've thought that Lin Dan has just begun to stamp his authority on this men's singles encounter. And back comes the Malaysian. Lee Chong Wei showing great character. One game up, 11-10 up in the second, Lin Dan.
I think that was the right idea. Lin Dan has to get back on the attack, put a bit more pressure on.
11-all.
Oh, that's perfect. Goodness gracious. Brought that shuttle down so steeply. Generated a fair bit of power and seemed to have no big wind up to that smash. Just seemed to clip a racket head over the top of the shuttle. Never shows much emotion. No shoots today. Oh, yeah, perfect tactics from Lee Chong Wei. Lin Dan having dived to his backhand side, left perspiration on the court surface. And you watch Lin Dan here, he's tentative of moving, doesn't want to slip on that wet surface there. That's landed in. Well, I have to say, as the shuttle was in flight, I thought the same as Lee Chong Wei. I thought to myself, that's going to go wide. Well, you and I have noticed the drift lengthways of the court. Maybe there's a little bit of drift sideways as well that we hadn't noticed. Perfection. Dan immediately appeals to the umpire. And now he's pointing up at the giant screen saying, let's have a little look at it on the replay. Well, our commentary position, we're looking straight down that line. And my initial reaction was what a good call had been made by the line judge. And I thought that clipped the outside edge of the line. Any part of the shuttle, as the shuttle lands, that touches the line and the shuttle is in. Well, I said so earlier, I'd hate to be a line judge.
Exactly, it's so
one of
quick.
the worst jobs.
A lot of pressure watching that line.
Yeah, but I have to say, what a wonderful job the line judges do. Fault called by the umpire. And we must stress, of course, that the umpires here in Guangzhou from all over the world, court officials, line judges from all over the world, making the court officials as neutral as possible. They have done a fine job all week. The difference between success and failure, minute. And Shuttle sat on the top of the tape, had a little look and decided not to go over. Match in progress for 48 minutes. The little hold and the flick from the net that set up the rally.
Exactly, they both come in so quickly going into the net. Little bit of a fake. Cut Lee Chong-wei looking forward a bit. Great smash by Lin Dan.
Real poster boy of world badminton. Great character, good looks, and a wonderful badminton player. Well, the smash straight down the line, and Lin Dan knew that the only possible reply, this one, had to be a block to the net. And he was so fast coming forward, just guiding the shuttle across court into the open space. And goodness me, even Lee Yongbo approves of that one.
Absolutely, what a nice shot. Again, when Lee Chong-wei is a little bit short on his clear, Lin Dan is going to take advantage of that.
Well, I'm sure for an awful lot of the Chinese fans here, whilst they want to see this man close out the match, everybody's enjoying this men's singles of the very highest quality so much. I think we'd all love to see a third and deciding game. Just don't want it to end. pushed it wide. Well, now Rashid Sadek is beginning to look a little bit nervous. Time is running out for Malaysia. How on earth did he create that angle? The clear from the Malaysian appeared to have gone past Lin Dan. Somehow he contorted his back, managed to control that round the head shot across court and find such an acute angle. Here it comes. Now, to most players, that's just impossible. 2 points away now from securing the men's singles. Lin Dan. Oh, that's nice. Well, throughout the entirety of this match, we've seen little runs of points from both players. And the Malaysian has got to believe in himself, got to believe it's possible. Well, a high fives with his coach. It's not over yet. Still another point required. What on earth went through the mind of Lee Chong-wei? It is now 5 match points to Lin Dan. Well, the Malaysian team sit in the background there and watching them, trying to urge on Lee Chong-wei. But I have to say, even the body language of the teammates look as if they think it's a forlorn hope. Anything is possible. No, he's missed it. Not this occasion for the Malaysian. The world and Olympic champion, Lin Dan, secures victory over the current world #1, Lee Chong-wei of Malaysia. 2 straight games. Complete symmetry in the score. 21-16, 21-16. And a lovely gesture from both players. Lin Dan raises his arm aloft, and Lee Chong-wei, the Malaysian, turns and applauds the crowd for their support, their part in this wonderful match. 4 minutes shy of the hour. It was sensational badminton. Men's singles of the very highest quality. But the 2 game to love victory for Lin Dan, 21-16, 21-16, means, of course, that China take a 2-love lead in the Sudirman Cup semi-final against Malaysia. Both players congratulate each other. They've huge respect for one another, and that shows through every time they play, and that's lovely to see. So their confirmation of the score, and indeed confirmation that China are 2-love up in this semi-final. Remember, of course, they haven't dropped a match throughout the entirety of this year's Sudirman Cup campaign. All of their group matches won 5-love, and now 2-love up against Malaysia in the semi-final. Next match on court, men's doubles, and that should be a thriller. Kai Yun and Fu Haifeng of China up against Ku Qi